In our last sitting, we were on page 87 and the pauri number 12, in which the message was, हर के संत सुनो जन भाई, हर सुख सतगुरु की एक साखी, जिस दुर्भाग होवे मुख मस्तक तेन जन लै हृदय राखी. This is the story which can never be told in its fullness, in its completion, because it is the story about the Creator, story about the highest possible energy ever known to the human. A Sat Kahani, something that cannot be put in words, something that cannot be completely described. So today, we'll pick up the journey where we left. Last time, the message was, Adist agochar alkh naranjan so dekhya gurmukhe aaphi. It is possible to experience Him, the one that is invisible, the one that is unlimited, the one that has no characteristics that can be attributed in human terms, but it can be experienced. How is it that possible? That starts the next hymn, next shloka. Satgur Sevey Aapna so sir lekhe laye, vichon aap gavaye ke rahan sach liv laye. Satgur Sevey Aapna, serving the Satgur, serving the creative energy. Well, how is it that possible? The words will confuse us if we are not alert, if we are not completely in the same space with the same mindset as the Gurbani, then the words will slip away from us. Because Satguru is used for the creative energy. Satgur mera sada sada na aave na jaye, o avinashi purukh hai, sab mein rahe samay. That is the definition of the Creator. And the Creator has no body, o nirakar hai. And since the Creator has no body, how are you going to serve Him? The answer is hidden within the statement. Satgur Sevey Aapna so sir lekhe laye. How is it possible to serve somebody, serve something which has no physical characteristics? It says, well, offer your memory, your intellect, your thought process. So sir lekhe laye. Literally translated, give him your head. Well, you can offer a head as a physical offering. That wouldn't help. So what does that mean? That's also non-physical in nature. To a non-physical, only non-physical activities can be attributed. So what should you do? It says, fill up your memory your thought processes. Fill up your head with his idea, with his memory. That is, sir lekhe laye. Offer him, give it to him. Lekha lagana, meaning when we buy a piece of land, we go and get it registered in our name. Then that piece of property belongs to us and we can do anything and everything to it because it's been given to us. So if we now offer our thoughts and our memory and our experience, if we offer our head to him, then we have no right over it. It belongs to him now. So he can do everything and everything. You can't just go to a religious place and bow your head and consider the job done. There's no lekhe lagana. It has to be given completely to him. That's the only way to serve him. Satgur Sevey Aapna. The one who is desirous of doing that, he or she will have to do this. So, sir, lekhe laye. You're going to have to sign off your own ownership of it to his name. Can this be done? You say, yeah, it is possible. The people who are sitting in this granth, they all have done it. How did they do it? Vichyo aap gavaye ke rehen sach live lie. That's the way to do it. Vichyo aap gavaye ke. You are going to have to get rid of that which reminds you from your memory that I am something, that I am somebody. This idea that I am something, I am someone, I am somebody keeps on reinforcing the ego within you. And when you go to any bhagat, any saint, they will remind you, Kabira sabte hum bure, hum taj bhalo sab koe. Isn't that something so profound, yet so true? On his path, walking on that journey, if you are reminding yourself, if you remember that you are something, you are somebody, then the very first step has become a misstep. If you are walking on that path in all humility, how is that humility expressed? Vichyo aap gavaye hai. Lose the feeling of the self. Surrender yourself to the higher forces and let them play through you without you being the moderator in the middle. Vichyo aap gavaye hai. Rehen such live lie, and where should the you go? That I which exists today, what should you do with that? Well, I say, well, take that I of yours and put it in touch with that truth, the ultimate truth. Let him remember that creative energy. So instead of remembering I, replace the word I with you or he, she, it, God, Vaheguru. Replace it with something. Ram, Allah. Replace it with something. Get rid of the word I from your memory. Rehan with such level I. Level lag jane. There is no precise English word that will adequately define word live. That's such an ecstatic state. You sit in ecstasy as if in the presence of the God Himself. That's live lagari. Nothing else remains in your conscious memory except that one thought. That is such live life. But if you don't do that, which is what most of us are doing, Satgur jinni na seviyo pinna biltha janma gavaye. Those who have ignored this advice of Gurbani, they are wasting their life. Biltha janam. A complete waste of a carnation. We took this physical carnation for that purpose, and if we have forgotten it, or yes, we remember it, but we ignore it because we are doing more important things than this, which is what everybody says. Hey, we are living in the world. We have to take care of the worldly matters. Gurbani is saying that is quite alright. You can take care of the worldly stuff. But remember, the price you are paying for that. What is the price? Tinna birtha janam gavaye. They have wasted this life cycle. If they do not turn back, and they do what? Satgur Sevey Aapna. If you don't do that, then birtha janam gavaye. It is not open for negotiation. It's not subject of discussion. You cannot take a shortcut to this. You cannot change the laws of the Creator. You have to play the game within the laws laid out for you. Satgur jinni na sevyo tinna birtha janam gavaye. Nanak jyotis bhave so kare कहना किशु na jaye. Nobody can complain about it. Well, why can't he excuse us for this time, or why cannot he relax a little bit? These topics are not open for analysis. They are not open for discussion. They are not open for negotiation. There is no compromise. There is no give and take. It is absolutely no fault tolerance shooting. When you look at the way the computers work, we can get frustrated with it. Many times we do. If you have made a mistake, नानक जो भावे सो करे कहना किछु न जाए. These are his laws. Humans have no control over it. They are not open for negotiation or compromise or adjustments. They were laid down before the humans were ever created. So, if the mind-body system has been corrupted, by the illusionary world of Maya, then that mind-body system is going to have to change. The laws would not be changed. Next shloka. Man vekari vedaya vekara karma kamaye. Vekari vedaya. Surrounded by. Vedaya literally means surrounded by the negative energy. Vekar. Because the mind is surrounded by the negative energy, it concludes automatically, well, that must be the way it is then. And we do that all the time. Well, everybody is lying, so what's wrong with lying? Well, everybody is stealing, so what's wrong with stealing? Well, this is business. We have to make a killing in one deal, because you never know if the second customer is going to be that gracious or not. We come up with these excuses to do what we want to do. No doubt about it that we are surrounded by that energy. But if we don't resist that energy, then we have no excuse. When we move on to the other dimension, we will take a look at it and find out that the final result of those decisions we are responsible for. We cannot get away with the explanation, well, everybody was doing it. The mob mentality would not help us get away with anything. And those of us who are parents, we have gone through this, that when the child is by himself or herself, he behaves very well. When the child is surrounded by other friends, other playmates, then it becomes a mob mentality. So whatever everybody is doing, then all are doing it and none of them feel responsible for it. Wow. He did it, so I did it. And that would be the explanation all the way through. But we know that we have to teach our children that that explanation is not good enough. You are responsible for your actions. Even though you had the excuse, you had the environment, but you should have risen above the environment, which is what is being said here. Man vekari vedaya vekara karma kamaye duje bhai agyani poojde dar gaye nale sajaye. So what is the Gurbani pointing out to us? It's saying, look, all of your decisions about your religious activities, your puja, your part, your all types of services that you are doing, they are actually sowing the seeds for your punishment. You are doing it because everybody else is doing it. Duje bhai, looking at the others without understanding. Agyani poojde. You are not aware because you don't think. You don't stop to ask a question. If we were to ask a simple question to us, all these people who are here, who have been doing this for so long a time, are they any better human than they were before they started it? We never ask that question. We never find out from our parents, from our friends, from our preachers, you are suggesting me to do this. Okay, I am willing to do that. Can you show me someone who has done it for a while and has seen some positive results? Has become a better person? Has overcome, conquered low mo ahankar? Has won over the 5 evils of the human life? We never ask that. Then what happens? कि दूजे भाई अज्ञानी पूज दे दर्द है मेरे सजाए. You can continue, but remember, in the other dimension, you will be accounted for. You will be responsible for it. You would not be able to say, I did it because my priest, my jnani, my pandit, my padre told me that. It won't go. Why? Because each and every one of us has a sir. Satgur Sevey Aapna so sir lekhe laye. We all have a head. And in that head there is an intellect which is fully functional if you allow it to function. If you make a little bit of effort. But you have decided, this is not my job. This is the job of that particular preacher. He or she should do the homework and should tell me, and I am going to follow it. Which is what Gurbani is pointing out. Duje bhai agyani pooj de dargah mile sajaye. That's not what you were supposed to do. What was you supposed to do? Atam deo pujiye bin satgur bhuj na paye. Atam deo pujiye. The inner being. The memory of the inner being was something that you were supposed to do. And if you don't understand that, go ask your Satgur. Go ask your Guru. Open your Granth, read it, understand it, then implement it. So if the Gurbani keeps on saying, you are supposed to do this, and we keep on doing exactly the opposite, who's responsible? Gurbani is reminding us, don't do Agyani Puja. What is Agyani Puja? Gyan meaning Agyana Puja. Without properly understanding it, you are acting, and what is that action doing for you? Andavaltara Bhava Puja. You are sowing the seed for your punishment in the other dimension. Darda hai mere sadaye. Atam deo pujiye bin satgur bhuj na paye. What is Atam deo and how to do its puja, you are going to have to ask your Guru, your master. Don't go ask another one who may already be lost. Ask your Guru. For a Sikh, Guru Granth Sahib has the answer to all of it, and the answer will be provided in the Pauri. If we are ready to receive it, we will see it. जब तक संयम भाना सतगुरु का करमी पल्ले पाए, नानक सेवा सुख कमावनी जो हर भावे सो खाए पाए. According to your Guru's teaching, the way he has taught you, jap, tap, sanjam. Sanjam literally means rahat maryada, the real process. And that word alone will alert us that whatever Guru has given us as a rahat maryada, we don't even know about that. We know the Raag Maryada that SGPC has given us. We know the Raag Maryada that Akal Takht has given us. But we don't know the Maryada of our own that Satguru has given us. And unless we do that, find out what is the Sanjam, what is the Rahat Maryada, what was the Rahat Maryada that was given to Bhai Lehna by Guru Nanak? A very simple question. Now if we can find that Sanjam, then Nanak Seva Surat Kamavani, then that would be the real service which would help your surati, help your inner being to rise to the higher plane. But remember, that is his prasad, jo har bhave so thai paye. Now if you remember the message in these two shlokas, and the shloka has basically said, then Satgur Bhuj na paye. What is that Sanjam? Here comes the Pauri with the answer. Har har naam japo man mere jit sada sukh hore din rati. Very simple message. Do the job of his name. And if you learn to do the job in a proper way, then you will start seeing the results very quickly. Jit sada sukh hove din rati. All day and night will start becoming blissful, peaceful, and you will start seeing the impact of a decision made by you. This advice is coming directly from the Satguru. It's not a human, it's Durki Bani, it's not a human poetry, it's not a philosophy, it's not a thought process. It's not just an idea, a hit and miss kind of a thing. In every line, it's going to be emphasized. It's going to be repeated. Isn't that amazing? Guru knows our weakness. He knows how human mind works. So, it will keep on saying the same thing again and again and again and again. It will keep on reminding. And the tragedy with the human mind is that it sees it, hears it, understands it, and then ignores it. Har har naam japo man mere jit sada sukh hove din rati. Har har naam japo man mere jit simrat sab kil vik paap lahati. Paap. What is paap? According to Sikhism, there is no paap, there is no pun. Those labels are created by the humanity, not by God, not by the Creator. The word paap is used only to describe the negative choices. The result of negative choices. God has made only two things. Positive and a negative. That's it. Raat and Din. And they are joined. They are together. You can see how well they are joined. As soon as the light comes, the darkness starts moving. And the moment the light reaches its own limit, darkness is right there. Just like a little kid. He's running in front of a mother. And he said, oh, mother cannot catch me. So he's running, his mother is running behind him, and the moment mother stops, he stops. They come get me. They live next to each other. Darkness and light. They are joined. That's the game of the nature. That's the life. You can't get rid of them permanently, one or the other. They will always coexist together. That's the game. You can take the negative choice and turn it into positive. Turn it into right if you want. But remember, doing it once is not going to be sufficient. The moment you turn the light off, the darkness comes right back. You have to do nothing to bring it back. It will always remain with you. When you have a torch in your hand, what's happening? When you drive the car in the night and you turn on the headlights, can you not see the light and the darkness both? And the darkness running ahead of it. As the light is coming in, darkness keeps on running ahead. Whenever you stop the car, darkness stops. You cannot get rid of the darkness. It's always there. So you have to continuously keep on trying to turn in the darkness into light. Take the negative choices and turn them into the positive. हर हर नाम जपो मन मेरे, जिस दालत दुख भुख सब लह जाती. Dalat literally means laziness, diligence. Why isn't the word gao here? Har har naam gao. Why the word japo again and again and again and again? And isn't that amazing that this is one word that's missing from all preachers' class? They don't discuss it, they don't talk it, they don't analyze it, they don't practice it, they don't devote any time to it. We will have time for speeches and announcements, but no time for jabo. हर हर नाम जपो मन मेरे, मुख गुरमुख प्रीत लगाती. A very curious phenomena. मुख गुरमुख प्रीत लगाती. And we have talked about it a few times. I want to re-emphasize here because Gurbani is emphasizing this. It says that will create your love for the Creator. And you will create the love in His heart for you. My job. Why? Because psychologically we all know when we are in love, we can only think the thoughts about the one we are in love with. We can only repeat the name of the person. And normally when we are talking to others, we will bring his or her name and say, that's how he or she does. So wait a minute, we were talking about something else. Where did he come from? But in your heart, that's the only name. Because you are in love. So the Gurbani says, since we have not seen him, since we have not experienced him, we can use the reverse logic, which is, if we want to fall in love with him, we start repeating his name. The repetition of the name will create love as the love creates the repetition of the name. So use the reverse process, which is, har har naam japo man mere, mukh gurmukh preet lagati. It will create the love. In your heart for him. We normally cannot force somebody else to fall in love with us. Right? There's no way. Somebody to love you or respect you or care for you. You cannot force anybody. Those feelings. So, if you want someone to love you, what would you do then in that case? You start loving yourself. Because when two beggars beg from each other, then who's going to give? Right? If one says, you love me, and the other says, no, you love me, both are beggars. Where is the giver in this? In this equation? Both are begging. The transaction can complete only if at least one of them is a giver. And if we insist, no, you become the giver, we're back to square one. That choice has to be made without any discussion, any analysis. Which is, I want love from him. Okay, fine. I'm going to start loving him. My love will rebound back to me. It will happen someday. Because love does have the capability to create love. Hatred has no such capability. Love may not turn into love. Love has both qualities. It can be ignored or it can be reciprocated. Hatred will always be reciprocated in a hatred way. It will never be returned back as a love. Negative energy has no capability to create positive energy. Positive energy can create positive energy. So Gurbani is using that philosophy, that model, and advising the seeker, har har naam japo man mere, mukh gurmukh preet lagate. I think the other day you asked me if there is a quotation in the Gurbani, why you keep on saying this? And today automatically popped up. जित मुख भाग लिखिया तुर साचे हर चित मुख नाम जपाते. That is what is going to happen. And it is said in a different way. कृपा करे जे अपनी ता गुर का शब्द कमाए. Here it is said, जित मुख भाग लिखिया तुर साचे हर चित मुख नाम जपाती. If this is his grace, this is his prasad, that it would encourage you, motivate you to go on that journey of japa. Everywhere, see, this line was repeated 4 times. Har har naam japo man mere, har har naam japo man mere. In the 5th one, so that we do not become egotistical and the aham may not come back. In the 5th line it's reminded, Jit mukh bhav likhya tur sache. This is not your doing. He had given it to you as a prasad. That's why you are being put on to the path of Chit Mukh Naam Japati. That human body system will get onto the path of japa. So that is the 13th pauri, and we will pause here because there is a question that I received in the email that I need to talk about a little bit because the request was to let everybody know it as to what the question is and what the Gurbani says about that. And the question was that in the other religions, particularly in Hindu religion, the theory of karma, accounting for your action to some higher deity, is very much repeated. It is in the movies, it is in the books, it is in the stories, and it is discussed. What is Sikhism position to this? Do we have other lives? Does Sikhism believe in incarnation? Is there a consequence of our decisions and actions, and are there quotations supporting that answer? So it's a multi-part question, so let me share with you what Guru has given me. Sikhism does believe in multiple lives, multiple births, and I was looking at Guru Granth Sahib today after I received the email that the past life has been referred to about 103 times in Guru Granth Sahib. For example, परा पूर्व जिसे लिखिया बिरला पाए कोय. पूर्व literally means the past life. जिनको पूर्व लिखिया तिन सतगुर मिलिया है. नानक प्रपंच किया तुर करते पूर्व लिखिया कमाए. पूर्व जन्म को लेख न मिटी जन्म मरे का को दोष धरे. पूर्व लिखिया पाइए किसनु दीजिए दोष. All these lines are referring to the, say for example, when we have relationships and then Gurbani says पूर्व जन्म के मिले संजोगी. If we are meeting, there was a reason from our past life. पूर्व लिप्त लिखे गुर पाया हर मंडल मंडा. Here we read this almost every evening from Sohila Gaudi Purvi. पूर्व करते लिखिया पिन्ना गुरमत नाम समाए. नानक पूर्व कमावना अवर न करना जाए. So, I will post this document on the website. These lines, and then their page number and Raag and Mela is listed in the form of a spreadsheet, which talks about the cycle of life and death. जम जम मरे मरे फिर जमना. Very clear that there is no ambiguity here. जम जम मरे मरे फिर जमना बहुत सजाए भया देश लम्मा. To be born in multiple lives and fall in the cycle of life and death, there cannot be a higher punishment to the human mind-body system. Dharmat bharmat baho janma hareo. Multiple births. You've been going around. Dharmat bharmat baho janma hareo. Sarn nanak karna mai. अनक जन्म बिछड़े मेरे प्रीतम कर कृपा गुरु मिला बोगो. अनक जन्म. So when he's saying anek janam, that is a direct answer to the question. Kot janam brahmat joni te naam simrat tare. Not just few, koti kot. 84 lakh June or Pai can be misinterpreted the other way. That this is not human, but different lives in different animals and birds and all that. But there are quotations in Gurbani which says that before you get the human body, you have actually traveled through each and every one of those lives. कई जन्म भय कीट पतंगा, कई जन्म गजमीन कुरंगा, कई जन्म पंखी होयो. These are all, you have gone through these different lives and different cycles before you were granted the opportunity to be born in a human body form. So, answer to the first, do we believe in multiple lives and births? Yes. Is there a sanskara from the past life? Yes. Purvale Janam indicates that. Then are there any quotations about accounting for this? And the answer is yes. Purv karam ankar jab pargay, भेटियो पुरख रसक बैरागी, मिट्यो अंधेर मिलत हर नानक, जन्म जन्म की सोई जागी. पूर्व कर्म, from the past life, I had put down a seed. अंकुर जब पड़ गए, अंकुर फूटना, that seed became a plant. जिनको कुरमुरा निकला है, that's अंकुर पड़ गया. The seed was sown in the past life. It matured in this life. And when you see the plant, then that reminds you to do what? Bheteo Purakh Rasak Bairagi. Look for the guide who will also help you to move on the path of spirituality. And what will happen with that? Mityo adher milat har nanak janam janam ki soi jagi. Something that has not been done for all of the life. Now I am aware I need to do this life. आपी ने भोग भोग के होए भटमड़ भाव सदाया, वड्डा होवा दुनीदार, गल संगल कत चलाया, अगे करनी कीरत वाचिए. Karni Kirat Vachiye. Means what? The decisions are being reviewed. And then, वह लेखा कर समझाया. It would not be ad hoc judgment. It will be given to you with a full explanation. In its pure reality, not the way you thought at that time. कीता आपो अपना आपे ही लेखा करिए. Everything is dependent on your choices and the lekha, the analysis of that is going to be based on what you did. Diban eko kalam eka hama tuma meya. One Lord, one system of judgments, hama tuma. Every type of people, hum tum. We all meet at the same place. And in there what happens? Dar lay lekha. That's where you will be held accountable for your decisions in its pure form. Teen chutte nanka jyote. Sabna ka dar lekha hoye karni bajo tare na koe. नानक आखे रे मना सुनिए सिख सही लेखा रब मंगेसिया बैठा कड वही. Shadvahi. Vahi means ledger, in which both plus and minuses are recorded. So, हमें करदे हैं जन्म गवाया आगे मोह न चूके माया अगे चमका देखा लेवे क्यों तिल पान कहानी पीड़ाएं दा जोगी होवा जग भवा घर घर भीखे ले हो दर्जे लेखा मंगिए किसके तो उत्तर दे हो If I became a yogi, now a yogi has to eat. He's not earning anything of his own. So what does he do? He go beg the food. Can the Havan Guru account for it? When he asked me what did you earn? Because he gave you to sustain, she gave you to sustain. Now everybody will have a debt on me. How will I explain it? जोगी होवा जग भवा घर घर भीखे ले हो I beg from every home. दर्जे लेखा मंगिए किसके सूत्र दे हो How would I explain everyone? धर्म आए जब लेखा मांगे क्या मुख लेके जाएगा So the answer to the three questions, multi-part questions. Yes, Gurbani says that laws of karma apply in three dimensions. Physical, emotional and intellectual. The only way you can escape from this lekha, this accountability, is to transcend it to the spiritual level. The laws of karma don't apply there. Theory of karma becomes completely incapable of asserting itself in spirituality. Because spiritual decisions are not based on emotions or intellect or physical. Spiritual decisions are made to become like Him. Only then you can get there, to become like Him. So you will do everything which will let you or guide you to the spiritual area. So that was a question in the email. I hope I have helped some. If anything I said has offended anybody, I sincerely apologize. And if anything has helped anybody, that's a message from the beyond. Hope that you will take advantage of that. We'll meet here next Friday. Thank you and good night.